Hello, welcome to an episode of Rich Piers Life's Adventures. Now I hope you enjoyed our weekend away at Cromer. We're back home now, time to get cracking on this van. So I ordered up an extractor fan for the bathroom area. We've made a start on doing the vapour barrier, but I can't finish it until all the holes are put through the side of the van that we need to do, so that I can vapour barrier around them and get a nice tight seal. So the extractor fan I've got, it's one of these. I'll pop a link in the description below. I got it off eBay. I can't remember the exact price now, and I don't even want to lead you up the wrong path, but it weren't expensive. So it's one of these. The raindrops can only go one way. You got vents that way that blow the air out, but when you look that way, nothing. So any raindrops that go on there ain't going to go inside your van. So that's your cover. Then you get your fan. It's just a PC fan, so it's very low wattage and amperage usage. I mean, look at the thinness of them wires. So it's going to be what, 0.3 of an amp, something like that. It's going to go centre of the bathroom area. It's going to go roughly there, but from the outside. Now I can't mount it up too high, because you got this fold, this body line on the outside and on the inside, and of course if I put it center of that as high up as I can, it's going to be midway down that crease. So what I need to do is I need to bring it down. I could bring it up, but what I don't want to run into is any issues with if I need to bring the roof down to get any lights in or anything like that, fixing for the roof, or I don't want to get into that. So I'd rather bring it down a bit and have it a little bit lower. Now what I'm going to do, when that's in there, obviously I've got the thickness of the insulation to come through, so I'm going to see if I can get some box ducting pipe, UPVC ducting pipe, just to stick it out the wall. Then what I'll do is I'll cut it off flush once I put the hygiene board on the inside of the shower area. I'll trim it off flush, and then I'll get another vent cover to go on the inside. I've got my wires already, so I've got the bathroom light and a bathroom fan. I'll put a large wire going to it, one for voltage drop and two for, I weren't sure how big a motor I was going to put in there, you know, for the fan, so I opted for the larger one. It isn't going to hurt it, it's still only going to draw what it wants to draw. So that's that. The wires then come round here to the light switch here, and then they loop back down to the fuse box. So on the outside of the van you'll have your lights, outside of the bathroom you'll have a light switch and you'll have a fan switch, so you can switch them independently. So that if I want to use the bathroom as a drying room, I can switch just the fan on. If I don't want the fan on at all, if I just go into the loo, then I don't have to have the fan on. I only really want the fan on if I've got the shower going. So that's why I put them individually. I didn't want to do it just off the light, because otherwise I'm going to have the light running if I want to use it as a drying room. So that's my plan. So what I've done is I've made a cardboard template of the hole I need to cut out, and I've marked up and in, because it's not exactly square, it's rectangular shaped. I need to drop it down a bit, and then it'd be somewhere roughly there. I'll measure it out properly to center, but I might need to take a section of this out, because like I said, for that box section UPVC extractor pipe, it might just come into this, so I need to just tweak that down a bit. So I'll get measuring it out and I'll let you watch on. Right, okay, so I've got that on in place where I want it. What I'm going to do now, I've got two drill bits the same size. Doesn't really matter what size you use. So I'm going to do them diagonally, drill through, and then what I'll do is I'll poke the drills through, and then I can put the cardboard on from the outside, hence why I put inside right on it and up, so that it goes on inside and up from the outside, and then I'll know where to draw around and cut it. So here we go, no turning back. Right, now what I do is I'll poke these, take that off, poke these through from there, and there. Excuse me a second. And I've got some of this, like it's in like industrial blue tack. In the windscreen trade you call it trim shield. So I'm just going to put that on there just to stop them wiggling about. I've also got a Bullfinch gas fitting for an external gas socket to put in, and a water fill point to put in, and then once these three things are in, then the vapour barrier can be sealed up round it, and then I can go on with the cladding and so on. So that's that. A little tip for when you're cutting with a jigsaw or anything: get a large magnet, as big a magnet as you can find, rest it in there, and then most of the filings then will stick to the magnet as opposed to going in there. You'll still have to vac a bit out, but you might as well attract as much of that as you can. So I'll just get my magnet. So I've got a magnet, it's basically a magnet off an old speaker. I'll drop that in there. I may have to move it when I do the bottom cut, but when I start cutting from the outside, all the metal filings will then stick to the magnet and reduce down how much I need to vac out from within there. So I'll go and pop this on the outside, and then we can draw around where we want to be. So I'm going to take you outside now so you can see what I'm doing. There you go, there's my two drill bits sticking out. As you can appreciate, if I put the fan on there, technically it'd be like that, and I'll have to try and fill that void. So I've marked on there up and in, so put that on there and that on there, and I know that's exactly where I want it then. Another YouTube channel told me this little tip, Mel's Van Life. He told me this little tip, and I've used it a few times now, and it's worked a treat every time. Now what I'll do is I'll just scribe around that with a Sharpie pen. So I've drawn around it now with my Sharpie pen, lift it off, and now I've got a perfect point of where I want to cut to, just confirming that it is level from there. So I did measure before I marked it, that it's the same measurement, so I know it's square on there to where I want it to be. So now I can remove those drill bits, cut a hole in each corner, I'll masking tape it off, and then jigsaw around it. Yeah, like I said in previous episodes, always make sure your drill blade is in the hole before you do it, because if you just catch that, it's going to dent all your van up. So just mind your ears. Right, so it's all cut out. Just got to make the metal good now, make it all, neaten it all up with a little finger sander. Right, so I've got it fitted in there. That bit that I said I was going to have to notch out, I'm stopping it from going all the way back, so if I step it up, it'll fit that way. And I'll take you on the inside and show you what I mean. So this is the bit that I was referring to. So I'm going to have to just cut a little little noggin out there, and then that will enable it to fit correctly then. So I'll get doing that and show you when I'm done that bit. Right, so I took a noggin out the other side, and I'll show you that in a bit. I've painted the edges of the raw metal so it doesn't rust. I've coated the back lip with Sikaflex, probably a bit too much, but I'd rather clean it off the excess. I've pre-drilled the holes for the screws, so now I've just got to screw it down into place. I've always been taught to get all the screws in before you tighten them up. And just get them all started. Because there's Sikaflex on there as well, I haven't really got to bind them down too tight. The Sikaflex will hold it as well. So, right, that'll do. I'll get them tightened down then. I'm actually going to put this in my other drill. Hold on. Right. I'll tweak them all down to the same torque. Right, usual trick, if you spray it all down first, any that goes beyond where it's touching won't stick. So give it a good old spray down, just soapy water. Then I've got these silicone things that you get from Screwfix, and you just run it round. we go. Simple as that. So now I've just got to fix the outer shield on. You just can get that. Now this doesn't need sealing, it's just that bit that needs sealing. This bit just clips on, well not clips on, it actually screws on. So they go on there like that. Fit it again, not overly tight. It is only plastic at the end of the day. That'll do, and then you get these little blanking grommets that go in there. I assume all these nuts and bolts are stainless steel. We'll find out soon enough, won't we? I mean, it is supposed to be an RV vent, so you would assume so, but it's just a cheap Chinese thing. There you go, that's the inside. You'll see that I've had to cut that out, one to allow that bit to come through, and also when I put the box section to extend it out to make it flush with the inner hygiene board. I have to box it out and space it out, so I had to make room for that. Now I can stuff all my insulation back in there, and you'll probably see that I've put cardboard in there. I've got to fish that out. All it was is I didn't want the screws from holding it in to go against my conduit, so as I put the insulation in, I'll fish that cardboard out and the insulation will hold the wire through. I have put a little bead of Sikaflex on the inside of this just to hold that back, hence why I put the cardboard there, just to secure it while it sets. So when I do the insulation in there, I'll pack it all in there, and that'll also help it keep the conduit away from the screws. Right, so that about wraps up the air vent. Okay, so I've fitted the bathroom vent. What I was going to do in the same video is I was going to install the Bullfinch gas fitting and the water fitting, but the video is already getting a bit lengthy, so I'm going to break it down into two parts. I'm going to fit this in part 2 and this in part 2 as well. It's just a quick case of drilling some holes and screwing them in with a bit of sealant. So I'll catch you on the next one in part 2, and I'll show you how I go about doing this. So if you like what you're seeing, please like, please subscribe, please share, and on that note, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.